All right, everyone. Remember when this was just a corporate cage match between Netflix and Paramount fighting over Warner Brothers Discovery? Yeah, well, now it's a Senate hearing. Because nothing says healthy marketplace like a room full of politicians discovering what HBO Max is in real time. And if you're thinking, well, Chris, why are senators talking about Superman, HBO, and streaming bundles? Because this deal has officially crossed the line from Wall Street chess into national entertainment security. So today, I'm doing a fast, ruthless update. What's changed since my last video on January 20th, and why this whole thing is starting to look like a merger wrapped in a proxy fight, dipped in antitrust, and served with a side of political theater. Let's go. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to The Critical Nerd. If you're a returning subscriber, I humbly say thank you. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to support the channel, check out my content. Appreciate what each and every one of you have done over the last couple of years since I started this YouTube journey. And just so you know, we don't do corporate press release bedtime stories here. We do numbers, the power moves, and the ugly consequences. And if you're new here, welcome. You picked a beautiful day to watch billionaires fight over Batman like he's a limited edition Funko Pop. Oh, and a real quick favor before I jump into this video, if you would, because YouTube loves engagement, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and turn on your notifications because this saga changes faster than HBO changes the name of its app. All right, so let's get into it. So what's changed since January 20th in my last video? Well, Netflix basically said, fine, we're done playing cute. We're just writing you a check. Yeah, $27.75 per share. Cha-ching. The number stayed the same, but the structure changed. And that matters because all cash equals fewer excuses and fewer market volatility speeches from everyone pretending they didn't know that stock prices go up and down. Now, I'm going to translate this for you in the back. Netflix basically wanted to slam the door on Paramount's chaos campaign and get WBD shareholders to a vote faster on the deal. Now, Paramount didn't walk away. Paramount didn't respect the process. Paramount did what every petty X does. They showed up again with a better offer and a louder speaker. Paramount's kept their offer at $30 per share. Their tender offer extended to February 20th, 2026. So just in a couple of weeks. And they kept pushing the same message. We're offering more money. We're cash too. And we're more certain Netflix is a long regulatory nightmare. And now the story is no longer which deal wins. It's how badly does Paramount make this vote a bloodbath? This next part is important because people hear tender offer and their brains shut down like a Roku from 2012. Here's the simple version of it. Paramount isn't just bidding. Paramount is trying to pressure WBD shareholders to reject Netflix, either by tendering shares to them or by turning the WBD vote into a public humiliation ritual. And according to reporting, the tender response so far has been, well, let's just call it not exactly a stampede. Think more like a polite line at Starbucks. Because here's the catch. A hostile offer can be higher on paper, but investors also have to believe it can actually close without turning into a 5-year legal hostage situation. So Paramount's argument is basically, Netflix will get stuck in antitrust quicksand. We're the clean exit. Netflix's argument is Paramount is doing the corporate version of throwing rocks at our car while screaming, please love me. Now, normally this would be the part where we just watch the stock price like it's a live stream, but then a Senate hearing. That's right. On February 3rd, Netflix co-CEO Ted Sarandos went to a Senate hearing and basically got treated like the final boss of streaming. And this is where the vibe shifts from business drama to political theater. Because now you've got senators asking questions that fall into two categories. Real antitrust concerns, like does this reduce competition? Does it raise prices? Does it kill jobs? And culture war grandstanding. Is Netflix woke? Yes, that was part of the energy. We're doing merger analysis via cable news vibes. Now here's the key takeaway for your brain. Even if this hearing doesn't decide anything directly, it changes the temperature. Because once the deal becomes a headline topic inside Washington, regulators start feeling, well, let's just say, extra motivated to prove they're doing their homework. And if you followed any big merger lately, you know what happens next. More scrutiny, more delays, more second request vibes, more political pressure. And you can feel why Paramount wants this angle. If Netflix has to wade through months of regulatory mud, Paramount gets more time to keep poking shareholders like, hey, yeah, you know you don't want that extra $2.25 per share. Because this entire war is basically Netflix is trying to shorten the timeline and Paramount is trying to stretch it until Netflix breaks. Now, here are 3 things to watch next. Simple, clean, and easy. February 20th, in just a couple of weeks, Paramount tender offer deadline. That's the date Paramount extended to. If Paramount gets meaningful traction, they'll claim momentum. If they don't, they'll pivot harder into the proxy-fight pressure campaign. WBD shareholder vote timing, which is supposed to be somewhere March or April, somewhere in that window. The whole point of Netflix going all cash was to make the vote path cleaner and faster. So as soon as there's clarity on the vote schedule, the temperature spikes again. And here's the real wild card in all this. Regulatory. Yeah. Whether it's the DOJ, FTC, state AGs, whatever mix shows up, this deal will be judged through the lens of, are we okay with Netflix absorbing Warner Studios plus streaming assets? If the regulators lean in hard, the Netflix timeline slows down. And Paramount's hostile strategy looks less crazy. If regulators wave it through quickly, Paramount looks like the guy who jumped into the ring and got knocked out in the first round. So what's my prediction in all this? Well, I'm still up in the air. I think Paramount, in my opinion, is the better option than Netflix because Paramount wants the whole enchilada. They want it all. Netflix, they just want the good parts. So that's where we are. Since January 20th, Netflix tried to lock the deal down with all cash. Paramount doubled down with $30 and a proxy fight vibe. And the whole thing went to Congress like it's a Marvel hearing about multiverse regulation. Now I want your prediction. Who wins this? Netflix, Paramount, or do regulators show up like Thanos and snap the entire merger into dust? Drop in the comments below. If you enjoyed this update, hit like, subscribe, turn on notifications because I'm covering this as it develops, and the next headline could hit, well, as soon as tomorrow. I'm the Critical Nerd, and I will see you in the next one.